Let's vibe, let's roll, let's get it. Whoa, shawty showing out, throwing on the dance floor. Fashion killer, huh? You don't give a fuck what a nigga gotta say or a bitch. What?
It's naimahrae. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button to join the fam because we stay lit over here. You feels me. And if you're a returning viewer, hey, how are you guys doing on this lovely day? As you guys can tell by the title of this video, I am back with another story time. I already told you guys in my last video to send me video ideas, so you know, continue to do that. You feel me? Yeah, I'm not gonna ramble too much. I don't really have no announcements this time, so we just gonna go ahead and get straight into the video because I know y'all trying to figure out how did Naimah get her man stolen. Well, sis or bro or whoever you are that's watching this, I'm about to tell you. So let's get into the video. Okay, so pretty much this story time takes place in high school. And it started in my sophomore year. There's this boy who went a name Box. He moved to my school, and Box was like the opposite of me. And I was just like not here for it at all. Like my initial like judgment from him was like, I could never be friends with this guy. Like we can't even be associates. I don't even want to talk to you. Because he was giving somebody relationship advice, and y'all, when I tell you it was the most ridiculous advice I had ever heard in my life, I was like, are you serious right now? I was just like, no, I can never even try to talk to this guy. Like I can't. Just my luck, he ended up sitting at because this was my science class, he ended up sitting at the lab table with me, one of his friends, and one of my friends. So like we're all sitting there, and after a few days, few weeks, like I realized that he's actually not that bad of a person. He's really cool, he's funny, he's smart. I'm just like, okay, like I really misjudge you like really bad. Like I misjudged him like completely. We were still opposites though. Like we were still like on the spectrum, because when it came to like the love life area, I was just like, sir, what? Like, because he was a player, y'all. He was a player. He was a player. He would always tell us stories about, like, you know, all the females he was with and what he was doing. And me and my friend, we would just sit there and listen like, oh, okay, that's nice. I also had another class with him, with my other friend, who we gonna name Tasha, okay? She was, like, my best friend. And so I introduced them, and, like, we all was, like, really cool. Like, we was kind of close. Like, he was, like, that guy that we could go to and ask for advice if we needed it. Because, like, he was gonna give us, like, the real deal spill because he thought like a guy. Obviously, because he was a guy. As time went on, me and Box started like flirting back and forth. Now y'all, okay, it wasn't really my fault because he started with me, and I'm a very flirtatious person, so if you flirt with me, I'm gonna flirt back. It's just like a natural thing. I don't know how to get rid of it. It gets me in trouble sometimes. I don't like it. We would flirt back and forth in class, and like I remember it kind of started getting a little bit too deep, and I had looked at my friend that I was in that class with, and I was like, I think I'm starting to kind of like Box a little bit. And she was like, he tells us all these stories all the time, and all he's gonna do is break your heart. Like, that's not good. Maybe it's just a little phase, and maybe it'll pass. Like, you know, you don't want, pretty much she was telling me, like, I don't want those problems because I didn't want those problems. And she was just being a good friend. She was like, look, I'm looking out for you. He's just gonna break your heart. It's not, don't do it. Like, you need to cut and run, get rid of those feelings now. And I did not like her energy. At the time, I did not like her energy at all. That's not what I wanted to hear. It's what I needed to hear, but it's not what I wanted to hear. So, since that wasn't what I wanted to hear, I went to Tasha. And I was like, Tasha, you know, I'm kind of starting to feel Box a little bit. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, girl, get your man. She was like all for it. And I was just like, for real? She was like, yeah, girl. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, girl, let me get my man. Oh my gosh. I was getting hyped up, okay? I'm getting hyped up. I'm like, you right, because we already flirted back and forth. Shoot, he probably feeling me too, you dig? And so that was what was going on in my head. Now, I feel like Tasha was coming from a good place, because you always want to hype your friend up when, like, she likes somebody. You always want to be like, oh girl, like he definitely gonna like you back, like you cute, you smart, like come on now. But sometimes, ladies, we just gotta tell our friends the truth. We can't sit there and let somebody break their heart, okay? Like if we know, or if you know this is a little mini life lesson real quick. If you know that this guy is gonna break your friend's heart, do not hype her up to go pursue this man. Do not do it. Tell her straight up, even though it's not what she wants to hear, and she's probably not gonna listen to you anyway, but at least, you know, like, you could say that you tried to help her before she got into this situation. Back to the story. So, like, it got to the point where me and Box would flirt so much in the class that, like, people legit thought we were already, like, dating. They thought that we was boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, that's how, like, deep the flirting had gotten. And so, you know, I mean, I wasn't about to stop, whatever the case may be. Like, we would hang out, me and Tasha, we would hang out with him in the morning. I had another class with him and Tasha, and then I had that class with him, his friend, and my other friend. So, like, I saw him a lot. And then one day, I don't remember exactly when I found out, but one day, I think Tasha had told me. She was like, oh yeah, he has a girlfriend now. And I was like, I wasn't like hurt. I was more over like just like embarrassed, because it's like, I just told y'all that people thought we were already together. So it was high-key embarrassing that like he got a girlfriend, and it was just like, oh, we thought you went with Naimah. My bad, bro. Like, it was just awkward. So it was just like, okay. And like, he wanted to act like everything was still the same and fine and dandy. And I was like, it's not, because your girl is not a homewrecker. So every time he would try to flirt with me, try to touch me, try to hug me, or whatever the case may be, I'd be like, what about your girlfriend? Did your girlfriend approve of this? Is she okay? How is she? What does she look like? By the way, I also wasn't that bothered by it, because once again, I had a very, I have had a lot of growth since then. But back in the day, I was looking at this girl like, first of all, she's not even that cute. Like, why would you choose her over me? And I was just thinking in my head that I had nothing to worry about. Also, Tasha was hyping this up. She was like, girl, she not even that cute. Like, she ain't got nothing on you, and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, you right, Tasha, you right. But he still can't touch me because he got a girlfriend. That's pretty much what I would tell him, like, all the time. And so, like, it didn't stop him, though. He was still doing whatever he did. And I was just like, I'm not trying to be a homewrecker in nobody's relationship. And I also wasn't trying to get dragged across the high school, whatever, the little main area. I wasn't trying to get dragged across that floor because somebody mad at me because they boyfriend want me. Like, you know what? Huh? So, you know, I was just trying to, I was making sure I was not initiating anything, and I was making sure that I brought up, oh, what about your girlfriend? I was making sure I was trying to stop stuff, because I didn't want nobody dragging me across the floor. Their relationship literally lasted about like a week and a half. They broke up, and I was like, well, that was really quickly. That was really quick. That was really quick. Okay, pretty much things like they resumed between me and him. Like, I was just like, I mean, he ain't got a girlfriend now, and I was still being stupid, and I still like this man. And my friend that was in the class with me, she was just like, no, this is just not good. She was like, Naimah, honestly, this is just going to end badly for you. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And like I said, I was not feeling her energy, so I would go back to Tasha, and Tasha would be like, yes, girl, go ahead, get your man, girl, you got this, girl, yes. It was like towards the end of the year, and I remember he had I don't know if it was like a joke or something that was going around on Twitter or something that, you know, your girl just missed out on, cause like I was confused, but he told me that he liked me, like, in class, and then people was laughing and stuff, and so, you know, I did a little hee hee ha ha too, cause I'm like, okay, maybe I'm missing something, you know, I don't want to like be like, oh, I like you too, and like, you know, it get awkward. So, like, you know, I laughed. I was like, you for real? And like, I wasn't trying to show that, like, oh, like, for real, like, in the classroom. So I texted him later, and I was like, hey, so like, you really like me? Like, you meant what you said? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, I like you too. And back in the day, y'all, I was not straight up at all. And so pretty much I wanted to ask, like, so what are we doing now? Like, where do we go from here? Like, but like, I was very inexperienced in the relationship field. I had never even got a guy to like me back. So I was, at this point, I'm just like, oh, okay, so what? I've never gotten this far. What do I do? I just was like, okay, cool, we like each other. So I'm thinking, for whatever reason in my head, that like, does mean we could talk all the time and this and that, da, 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 but that's not the case, okay? It was not the case at all. It was the end of the year, like I said. So this like kind of spilled over into summer, and like at first he was texting me back and forth, but he said, I'm not gonna say what sports team he was on because that might give away who I'm talking about, but he said that he was part of some sports team, so like he wasn't able to talk all the time. And so I was trying to be understanding, and I would just be like, oh, well, have a good day at practice or whatever the case may be. I don't even really think he was on the team now because I ain't never see this man play, but that's a story for another day. Legit, it seemed like he would ignore me like every time I texted him. Like every single time I texted him. Now, we're gonna pause the story time real quick. You guys, my biggest pet peeve is when somebody ignores me. I just feel like if you're busy, say you're busy. And if like you can't say you're busy, usually people like imply that they're going to be busy like during the day. Like if I text you and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta work later. So if I don't reply later, you know why, because I'm at work. It's the biggest pet peeve to me when people just don't like respond to you, because I feel like it doesn't take much to just be like, oh, I'm busy, like, or shoot, I just don't want to talk to you. Like, it don't really take much to tell somebody that. And if you tell me that, I'm gonna fall all the way back, okay? All the way, because you don't want to talk. So it's cool. Like, I just don't understand. So people who are out here ignoring people, stop ignoring people and tell these people that you just don't want to talk to them. I do it. It's not hard. You might hurt a little somebody's feelings, but it's okay. Everybody's feelings get hurt sometimes. Just do it. Back to the story. So he was pretty much ignoring me like a majority of the summer, and this was around the time the K-Camp song came out. It ain't nothing to cut that off. So you want to know what I did? I decided to be petty, and I posted a Snapchat, and I was like singing that song like real heavy, He saw it. I made sure he saw it. I was like, cool. My point has been made. And like after that, I was just like chilling. I was like in my own little bubble. I was like, if you don't want to talk to me, that's cool. Like, I'm gonna just move on. It's a new year. Like, I got other stuff to worry about. The beginning of junior year now starts, and I don't remember if I had a class with him or not, but Tasha would still hang out with him like in the mornings, so I would go over there with her and hang out with him in the mornings and and like we kind of started talking again, like within that little period. We started talking again, like texting, like outside of school. And I was like, oh, look who's had like a change of heart. And so I remember like he actually fell asleep on FaceTime with me. I was like, okay, we're doing good. We're making progress in the right direction. Yes. Y'all. I'm a clown. So the next week there was a game, and we were at the football game, and like they weren't playing because like I think it was like lightning outside, but there was no rain or anything or thunder. It was just lightning, okay, because that type of stuff happens in Georgia. So they weren't playing. So like I was talking to, I almost said his real name. I was talking to Box and Tasha. You know, we was all talking, you know, living it up. Me and Box was flirting. Low-key, I hope Tasha didn't feel like a third wheel, because like, you know, but me and him was like flirting like really heavy. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, we are actually moving in the right direction here. Maybe we can establish something. But once again, like me and my dumb self, I decided not to like just ask or say anything. I'm just going with the flow, like clown. Anyways, like I think it was like the next day I was texting him, and then like all of a sudden like the text just got dry and he just stopped replying, and I was like, okay. And so I decided to start venting to Tasha about it. I was like, Tasha, he's not replying to me, and da-da-da-da. And she was like, that's weird because he's answering me. And I was like, oh, he is. Well, tell him to text me. Because for whatever reason, it didn't click in my head why he was texting her but not texting me. I was just like, clown. I was like, tell him to text me. And she was like, okay, yeah, I will. And so I was like, did you tell him? Because he still like text me. She was like, yeah, I told him. And I was like, okay. She was like, I have to tell you something. And I was like, okay, like, what's good in the hood? Like, you know, I'm so caught up in what I had going on. Like, y'all, I was like really being naive about the whole thing. I was so caught up in it that like I didn't even notice like anything was wrong. And so I was like, what is it? And she was like, I was debating with my friend. Like, I asked my friend if I should tell you, and she said, yeah, so I'm gonna tell you now. And I was like, okay, what is it? And so she sends me screenshots upon screenshots of messages between her and Box, and he's talking about, oh, I like you, and you know, I always found you cute. And she was like, well, what about Naimah? And he was like, yeah, she's cute, but you know, I don't really like her like that. And I was just like, really? Y'all, my heart fell to my booty hole, because I was like, my heart was hurt, okay? Like, my feelings were like really hurt. And so I had such a range of emotions that I texted her back, and I was like, oh, so you like him too? And she was like, don't try me like that. And I was like, my bad, you right, I was just upset, you know, I'm sorry. And like, it didn't occur to me that, you know, maybe she did, maybe she didn't, but we gonna get to that part of the story. And like, I was just really hurt, and I was really upset. That was like my first time ever crying over a guy. I don't cry over guys, and that one really hurt. It really upset me, because I was like, dang, my own friend. And me and Tasha was like this, so it was like, that's cool. The rest of the year, I did not talk to this man. Like, I would not look in his direction. I did not speak to him. I didn't do anything. Matter of fact, I started flirting with somebody else in front of his face. And did I care? No, because I was petty. And Tasha was egging it on. She was egging on my pettiness. I don't know why I hung around this girl. Senior year now, this is a whole different ball field, because I'm my mindset a little different. So like, I'm in a relationship now at this point, not with Box, obviously, but with somebody else. And Tasha and I, we kind of started to grow apart, and her birthday was coming up, and she was like, oh, Naimah, I'm having a birthday dinner, did you want to come, da da da. And it was nothing against her, but the place she chose had like a D as their score. Who is about to go to a restaurant and eat that has a D as a score? Not Naimah. So I told her, I was like, no, I will not be in attendance because the score is horrible. And she was like, oh, we know the manager. I don't care who you know, that's disgusting, I'm not eating there. I was like, I'll give you a birthday gift though. And she was like, okay, whatever. And I low-key think she might have been a little salty, right? But she also invited Box. Why? I don't know, because I hadn't talked to Box, and I assumed that she hadn't talked to him either. And I guess she thought that since I had a boyfriend, like, you know, like, she was like, oh, well, you with somebody now, so it shouldn't matter. And I was like, that's not the point. People fail to realize the principle of situations sometimes is what really the problem is, and not like the situation or whatever. So y'all, when I tell y'all that he went and she was posting a bunch of snaps and stuff, and I feel like she did this on purpose to this day. She posted a picture of her and him, and the way he was hugging her and the way she was hugging him, it looked like some relationship type stuff. Y'all, when I tell you I saw that picture, it low-key bothered me. My boyfriend was like, why does it bother you? I'm with you with me now. And I was like, not the point. She's supposed to be my friend, and she's hugged up with somebody who supposedly liked me, then turned around and started liking you. So you told me that you had no feelings for this man, and, you know, I'm sitting here assuming that you guys weren't talking, and, you know, nothing has happened between y'all. And low-key, I feel like I was lied to. I feel like after that whole situation happened the first time, where, like, he told her that he liked her, I feel like something happened between them. To this day, I really don't know the truth, but I feel like something happened between them, and I don't appreciate it at all, because they stole my man. But it was okay, because at the time, I had a man. So that's pretty much the end of the story. But I just felt like that whole thing was very trifling, because literally to this day, y'all, like, in my soul and in my heart, I just have a feeling that something happened after he said that he liked her the first time, and I just was not aware of it until the whole year later when her birthday came around and they took that picture together, and I was like, yeah, this don't look like some friendly type stuff. Like, why was y'all still talking? Like, I'm confused. So that's the end of the story. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Moral of the story is, you guys, watch who your friends are, because sometimes they might not actually be your friends, okay? And they might steal your man. That situation. Anyways, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry if this video is long. I was trying to make sure the story made sense and include enough detail so nobody got lost. I tried to keep it short, in other words. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Please, please, please send me more video ideas. I am open to doing new stuff on my channel. I want to switch it up for you guys a little bit, you feel me? Make sure you guys follow me on all my social media, which is always in the description box down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
I want a chick that grind on a 9 to 5. Oh, she in them college books trying to get a rise. But tonight, I'm just trying to have a good time.